Good morning, happy Saturday, and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. So we'll do a quick recap of Friday Night Football, and then we will get into all of our plays for college football Saturday. But first, I want you to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, notifications on, so you get our community posts, and then please like, share, comment this video. We'll always keep the picks free, but if you're betting with us and winning with us, the only thing that we ask is that you help us grow the channel while we help grow your wallet. So, Friday Night Football. We had UNLV plus the 4.5, and they lost by 5. Those are always the hardest, right? Boise State converted to 4th and goals to get 2 touchdowns. Took a lead late, and then there was still 12 minutes left on the clock, but each team only got 1 possession after that. UNLV actually drove into Boise State territory, but then on 2nd down had a 15-yard personal foul penalty that kind of killed the drive, and then Boise State took it from there and was able to run out the clock with like an 8-minute drive. So impressive by them. They stay in the driver's seat for the college football playoff for the at-large bid for the group of 5. And then UNLV now effectively eliminated from that as well. So difficult spot for them, but it's okay. So 2-unit loss last night. So now we move into college football Saturday. A few things before we get in this. A lot of variance in lines here across books. So make sure you are shopping around today. This is probably one of the biggest amount of variance I've seen. Some of that having to do with injury news and who's playing and who's not, especially on Alabama Mizzou. Cook is playing. I promise you Cook is playing. I never understood this speculation that he wasn't playing. He came back in the game, finished the game last week to beat Auburn. The MRI came back negative, so yeah, I'm sure there's a pain limit involved here, but it's their game against Alabama. He'll get a shot before the game, and then he'll probably get another one at halftime, but he's playing. Might be limited mobility, but I promise you there is 0 chance that Cook is not playing for Missouri today. So, I will start it out here with our noon games, move into the afternoon, and then finish off with the evening. So noon, we're starting it off with our big game of the day. Love this play. So we are going to take Notre Dame minus the 13.5 for 10 units. I do not see a world where Navy keeps this close. Yes, it's a great story right now that Navy and Army are both undefeated. Notre Dame is strong everywhere where Navy would try to exploit something because they have the triple option. Notre Dame has one of the best defensive lines in the country, and defensively Navy will not be able to keep up. So essentially Notre Dame is a better version of of Navy, but they can also throw the ball some. So this is such a mismatch, it's insane. So Notre Dame minus 13.5, 10 units. Next we're gonna take Washington plus the 6, and we're gonna do that for 2 units. Rourke is out for Indiana. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Indiana team. So we were big on Indiana last week against Nebraska because they're a lot better. There's a chance that Washington wins this one outright. I mean, game day coming to Bloomington for the first time, starting quarterback out. Indiana's definitely overvalued. I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they're undefeated right now. People are like, oh, Big Ten championship. There's 0 chance they win the Big Ten. Love Cignetti. I win, Google me. It's one of the best quotes in coaching history. But Washington's a pretty good team. Fish is a good coach. I've always been a Will Rogers fan, even in his time at Mississippi State. I like Washington's chances here to keep this one close. And just to keep the storyline going, I hope Indiana wins by like a field goal or something, but we're going to take Washington plus the 6 for 2 units. Then we're going to take Ohio State minus the 25.5 for 2 units. You guys know that I'm low on Nebraska. I've been low on Nebraska. I thought they were overvalued. I think Dylan Raiola is good. That's what I think he is. So I also personally just do not like him. I will never like someone that essentially makes their entire personality someone else. Find your own personality is kind of what I would tell Raiola. Maybe you'll play quarterback better. But Ohio State's the best team in the country. You guys know I think that. I explained it when we picked against them. When we picked Oregon, I think Ohio State's the top tier team. They're coming off a bye. They're going to have some stuff to prove here, and this is a really bad spot for Nebraska coming into the shoe. I think Ohio State blows them out. I don't think this line is ever even in question. So Ohio State minus 25.5 for 2 units. Oklahoma plus 20 for 2 units. Shop this around. You can get this anywhere from 17 to 20. This line movement and variance is crazy to me. So if you are taking Ole Miss, make sure you get the minus 17. But Ole Miss is good. I actually still think that there's a very good shot that they make the playoff, and I think there's a world in which they beat Georgia down in Oxford. This is a weird spot. Noon kickoff on the road at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's bringing back Jackson Arnold into the fold. They fired their offensive coordinator, who is absolute garbage. So I do expect to see a little bit of a bump there. And Oklahoma's defense is still nasty. No matter what is happening on offense, Brent Venables' scheme and those defensive players, and they are fast, they are aggressive, and they are very good. Ole Miss will probably win the game, but 20 points is a lot. And Oklahoma's a pretty proud program. I'm sure they'll have a sellout, even though they're not having a good year. So we'll see. And then hopefully they're not down 21-0 after only having the other team only having one offensive possession like they were last week against South Carolina. But we will take Oklahoma plus the 20 for 2 units. Then we're going to move into the afternoon slate. So we have UCF minus the 2.5 for 2 units against BYU. Cinderella story for BYU. You know, we were on Oklahoma State last week. That one hit. It was just too many points. This is a difficult spot. BYU traveling cross country to Orlando. BYU relying on the turnovers in order to be where they're at. Again, that usually regresses towards the mean. UCF are kind of a running team, so turnover opportunity isn't as high versus a passing team where you can get the interceptions, like UCF minus the 2.5 here for 2 units. Then the other two 3:30 kickoff games, we are going to be taking Oregon minus the 21 against Illinois, and that one is going to be for 3 units. I think it comes to an end here for Illinois as well. Difficult spot for them, traveling cross country to Oregon. They are a little overvalued because if you watch that game against Michigan, yes, they win 21-7, and yes, we were on Michigan. It was a loss for us. It wasn't that discrepant with regards to the score. Michigan just has legitimately the worst coaching staff in Power Conference, and they have zero ability to make in-game decisions, in-game adjustments, or play calls. So you or I could do better with this Michigan team than Sharon Moore has. Michigan must be keeping him around so they can set him up to be the one to take the fall when the NCAA sanctions come. It's the only logical reason that he would still be employed by them. So, that's smart. That's if I was Michigan, that's exactly what I'd do. Like, you're gonna have to have someone take the fall. He's an idiot, so let him take the fall. But Illinois is not as good as they were post that game. How good as they looked post that game. So we're taking Oregon minus the 21 to kind of blow them out here. So that's going to be for 3 units. Then we are going to take Alabama in a bounce back spot minus the 15. And again, another one that, like, this line, you can get Vanderbilt. You can get Missouri all the way up to 18, or you can get Alabama all the way down to 15. Cook is playing. Like I said, zero chance Cook doesn't play. I think there's a chance this line comes down to 14. So if you want to wait to when, hey, it's announced Cook's good to go, and then the line comes down further, you're welcome to. But we'll put it in here at 15. I don't think it's going to matter. Missouri's not good. Yeah, we bet against them the past 2 weeks. Got the push last week. Got the win when they played A&M. Alabama is in a bounce back spot here. You guys know what I think of Alabama. They're good, not great. Missouri is average. Alabama at home. Alabama's something to prove. People starting to question Kalen DeBoer as if he's not a top 10 head coach, and he is. Milroe getting questioned, all that stuff. Alabama will show up today. We're taking them minus the 15 against Missouri, and we're going to do that one for 3 units as well. Then in the late afternoon spot, another favorite bounce back spot here that we're going to take. We're going to take Texas minus the 17 against Vanderbilt. That one for 3 units as well. When a unit gets beat that is one of the best units in college football, I always like them in the bounce back spot if they have a rematch or if they have whenever they're going into their next game. So Texas has one of the best offensive lines in college football, and they got the shit kicked out of them by Georgia. I like the rebound spot for them. So all 5 of those players will be drafted into the NFL. Vandy does not have a defensive lineman that will have a career in the NFL. So I think that this is a difficult spot for Vandy. I think there's going to be some aggression that's taken out on them. And so we're taking Texas minus the 17 for 3 units on that one. So now we move into the night games. We'll start out with the primetime game, Texas A&M and LSU. Like Texas A&M here, minus the 1 for 3 units. LSU in another difficult spot. They were in a difficult spot last week, and they prevailed. They came through. I still think people are sleeping on how good A&M is, especially the defensive line, their ability to get to the passer, their ability to stop the run, and LSU doesn't have much outside of the passing game. Now, when I say that, they have one of the best passing attacks in the country. They tend to, and they always have just absolute freaks at the wide receiver position, and they do again this year. I don't know if there's ever going to be a year that LSU isn't elite at wide receiver. And A&M is going to run a very, very different style offense, more RPO, more short yardage, more game control, more ball control. But I think A&M's kind of ready for that rock fight, whereas I don't think LSU is. So like A&M at home, Kyle Field, night game, minus the 1 for 3 units. Then the other 2 night games that we have, these are all 7:30 kicks, by the way. We have Michigan State plus the 5 for 2 units. Already gave that one out on Thursday. I mean, you guys know what I think of Michigan's coaching staff, and that's why. Models, everything say that Michigan should win this. They should cover it. Shouldn't be a problem. I think Michigan State beats them outright. Michigan's coaching staff is one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen put together. And then Wink Martindale, what a fucking joke. Wisconsin plus 7 for 2 units against Penn State. Gut feel. Last time I did a gut feel pick, it was also on Wisconsin, and they got annihilated. So take that for what it's worth. But gut feel here. Luke Fickell seems to be putting something together. I've always been a Fickell fan. I am not a Franklin fan. He does cover spreads when he's a favorite of an amount like this. So I'm going against that grain. Penn State is good. When Penn State plays Ohio State next week, I think it is, next week, yeah, we're probably going to be on Penn State, whatever plus the points are. This is a difficult one. The week before Ohio State, they're going to Camp Randall, night game, jump around, 4th quarter. I like Wisconsin to keep this one close. Wouldn't surprise me if Wisconsin wins this one outright, and then Penn State beats Ohio State next week, because that's just the way college football works. But yeah, Wisconsin plus the 7 for 2 units. So that's it for today, guys. I will be at you tomorrow to pick every NFL game against the spread. Have a great college football Saturday. Let's have fun. And remember, if you're betting with us, winning with us, please just support the channel by growing it. That's the only thing we ask. We'll always keep everything free. Appreciate your guys' time, and enjoy the Saturday.